You don't gain confidence writing online by waiting to be confident. You gain confidence by actually writing online. In this video, we're going to talk about the 3 things that you need to do to become a confident online writer, whether you want to start making an impact, changing a career path, or writing from anywhere in the world, like what I'm doing right now, where I'm writing from Punta Cana. Hi there, my name is Shireen, and on this channel I explore topics on writing, personal development, and making money in a way that feels good, and I hope that you follow along. The very first thing that you need to do is build a writing habit. I know that you already know that you need to do this thing consistently, but let me tell you the rationale behind building a writing habit or doing it consistently. When you write and publish consistently, you naturally embody the role of a writer. So there's this example in James Clear's book called The Atomic Habits, where he talks about a person who's overweight, has lost over 100 pounds, and one of the things that this person did was consistently ask them, what would a healthy person do in this situation whenever they took actions relating to diet? That person embodied the role of a healthy person that kind of made them act like one. If you want to become a writer and you want to embody the role of being a writer, then you need to be able to do what a writer would do, which is to write and publish consistently. That's why being consistent is so important. Even if you don't publish for the first 2 weeks when you're trying to build a habit, that's totally okay, but it's more important that you incorporate writing in your everyday routine, whether that's a minute, 5 minutes, or 10 minutes of practice. That's going to make a lot of difference in the long run. After you build the habit of writing, then you can start publishing more consistently. You can start with once a week, and then twice a week, and then 3 times a week. You have to do it slow so that it becomes sustainable for you. The faster you think of yourself as a writer, the faster that you're gonna do the things, do the actions associated with becoming one. The second thing that you need to do is you need to challenge yourself. So once you build a habit of becoming an online writer or publishing consistently, you've got to push yourself a little bit harder. For example, when I started writing on Medium, which is a blogging platform, in case you didn't know, where anybody can publish any story that they want, I started getting the habit of publishing consistently, and then after a while I wanted more feedback. I wanted to know if my writing was good. So what I did is that I started submitting to different publications within the platform. Publications are kind of like magazines within the platform. They have their own specific niche. So there are publications about relationship, personal development, creator economy. The good thing about publishing with a publication is that there's an editor. The editor is the one that accepts or rejects your story, depending whether your story fit the publication's needs. If I'm talking about relationship and I'm submitting to a business related publication, obviously they're not going to accept it. But at the same time, if I'm submitting a story that's a relationship based in a relationship publication, and they can give me some feedback, they can tell me why my story doesn't fit their publication, and that way I can improve as a writer. Maybe it's about my headline, maybe my story isn't strong enough, or the formatting of the story. So all of these little things really do make some difference when it comes to getting more eyes on your work. For example, when I started writing on Medium, I just published without submitting to any of the publications. At the beginning, I started submitting my stories to publications and I kept getting rejected, and I wasn't sure why. I was a new writer and I was learning the platform, and also I didn't know how to write. What I did is that I studied the publication itself to see what kind of stories do they publish there and if they have any specific requirements. A lot of the publications will have something called the submission guidelines, where they basically tell you what type of stories they publish there to see if it fit, and then you can see whether your story fits their publication. So the submission guidelines can feel silly or stupid, but these rules are there because they've studied what works and what doesn't work. If your story is hard to read, if it's pain in the eye to read, at least according to the editors that edit stories on publications, then it's going to be harder for an average Joe or someone like me to read your story. And if you want to be a writer online, I hope that kind of is one of your goals, is to be read by other people. So these editors are the one that improves your craft in a way, because they're telling you what needs to be done or what can you improve. Although most of the time they don't give you a real feedback. You just kind of have to figure it out for yourself of why you're getting rejected by studying other people and other stories that are doing well in the specific publication. So when you challenge yourself, then you deliberately improve improve your work, you improve your craft. The more that you do this, the more eyes you get on your work, the better your craft will be, because you'll improve over time. And when you feel good about your writing, when you feel like you're improving, then you naturally become more confident. The third way that you can do in order to become a confident writer is to monetize your hobby. I don't recommend monetizing your hobby in the first month of your writing, but after 6 months to a year of practicing writing, then you can start thinking about actually monetizing it or providing writing as a service to other people. I personally believe that getting paid for what you do is kind of the ultimate test of becoming a confident writer. I'm not talking about going on Fiverr or Upwork and getting paid $5 an hour or $5 per article, which many people provide. I'm talking about offering your service to people who will want to pay you really well because your writing is good. I became a freelance writer after writing for 6 months on Medium. The very first article that I wrote for someone else was priced at $250, which is very cool. It took me about 5 hours to write it. Since then, I started looking for projects that will pay me really well. I figured that if people were paying for my writing, then it means that my writing is somewhat good, because why would someone pay for your services if it's not good? When you monetize your writing or it gets published in reputable publication, then that's an indication of your skills and capabilities. If these big brands are willing to pay you, then why wouldn't the other small players do so? And once you gain the skills of putting yourself out there and actually get paid for writing, then you'll naturally develop confidence when it comes to becoming a freelance writer or any other writer of that sort. If you like this video, you might want to check out the video on how I became a freelance writer, and I will see you in the next video.